Most home gardeners spend a small fortune annually on specialized chemical fertilizers and premium soil conditioners. Yet a $5 bottle of magnesium sulfate, likely sitting in your medicine cabinet right now, performs with the same precision as professional-grade supplements. Standard table salt, or sodium chloride, will dehydrate and kill a garden. Magnesium sulfate is a naturally occurring mineral compound that provides two specific elements, 10% magnesium and 13% sulfur. You likely know it simply as Epsom salt. To understand why it works so well, we have to look at the botanical science. In the plant world, magnesium is the central hub of the chlorophyll molecule. You can think of chlorophyll as the biological engine for photosynthesis, converting raw sunlight into usable energy, sugars, and growth. If a plant lacks magnesium, that biological engine stalls. It cannot process sunlight, and it will slowly starve. The plant will display a specific visual cue called interveinal chlorosis, where the areas between the leaves' veins turn pale yellow, while the veins themselves remain sharp and dark green. The second component is sulfur. This element drives the internal production of vital amino acids and vitamins, while simultaneously helping the roots absorb other heavy-hitting nutrients, like nitrogen and phosphorus, much more efficiently. Understanding this specific mineral duo gives you the power to actively manipulate and optimize a plant's entire life cycle. Let's start in early spring. Waiting for seeds to crack open and sprout requires patience, especially since many seeds have tough, resilient outer coatings that make germination difficult. You can speed up this process using a sulfur-rich water solution as a natural chemical catalyst. Mixing 1 teaspoon of Epsom salt into a gallon of water for your very first watering, the sulfur softens the hard protective shell, making the seed permeable to moisture and oxygen, triggering rapid cell division. Fast forward a few weeks, and those young seedlings face a perilous transition. Moving fragile plants outdoors into the main garden beds causes physical stress, known as transplant shock, which can stall growth for weeks or even kill the plant. You can prevent this biological shock with a simple planting trick. Before placing the plant into the ground, sprinkle exactly 1 tablespoon of raw Epsom salt directly into the bottom of the hole. Cover those concentrated crystals with a thin layer of native dirt so the raw roots do not sit directly on top of them. As the new roots expand, they gradually reach this pocket of slow-dissolving magnesium and sulfur. This immediate availability helps the young plant overcome the physical stress of moving, encourages rapid cellular repair, and stimulates the development of a deeply anchored root base. Preemptive mineral positioning turns the most fragile biological phase of a plant's life into a period of aggressive, structurally sound establishment. By mid-season, heavy rains or poor soil health can cause an entire garden bed to look washed out, pale, and yellow. Many homeowners rush to buy synthetic high-nitrogen fertilizers to force the green color back, but that often produces weak, leggy growth that easily attracts pests. Instead, a generous soil drench of dissolved Epsom salt triggers an immediate spike in chlorophyll production. This restores a rich, vibrant green coloration through dense canopy growth, rather than forcing unstable vertical stalks. This mineral also explains a common physical defense mechanism. When you see leaves curling tightly upward, it is rarely an incurable mosaic virus. It is usually a sign of severe magnesium deficiency. The plant is physically drawing remaining minerals from its older, lower leaves to sustain the new growth, causing the tissue to warp and deform. Epsom salt protects against external threats, too.
Slugs and snails will easily decimate an entire row of fresh seedlings overnight. The sharp, highly abrasive crystalline structure of dry Epsom salt creates an effective mechanical barrier against their soft bodies. While regular table salt would ruin your soil's structural integrity, an Epsom salt barrier dissolves in the dew and rain, safely feeding the surrounding root zone. Proper mineral management naturally fortifies a plant's internal structural integrity while building its external defenses at the exact same time. Moving into late summer, heavy fruiting crops like tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants become notoriously greedy for magnesium. Feeding these plants through the soil is sometimes not fast enough. To fix this, we use foliar feeding. By spraying a liquid nutrient solution directly onto the leaves, the magnesium and sulfur are absorbed almost instantly through microscopic pores called stomata, completely bypassing the root system. This direct delivery maximizes photosynthetic efficiency, allowing the plant to manufacture highly complex sugars and carbohydrates. Commercial growers measure this sugar content using the brick scale, and boosting it visually translates into a richer, sweeter harvest. We can apply this same rapid growth logic to ornamental plants. Scratching raw Epsom salt into the soil at the base of rose bushes stimulates the plant to push out thick, brand-new canes from the bottom. Maximum harvest size, flavor, and bloom density are directly controlled by your ability to maximize the plant's photosynthetic capacity. Even experienced gardeners make mistakes, and in our eagerness to get a massive harvest, we sometimes apply too much synthetic fertilizer, causing toxic salts to build up and burn roots. A weak Epsom salt drench flushes the root zone. Carrying a specific ionic charge, the diluted solution displaces built-up toxic synthetic salts, allowing damaged root cells to repair themselves from chemical stress. This compound is also highly effective during the final life cycle phase in the garden, the labor-intensive headache of removing old, diseased trees and woody stumps. When you drill deep holes into a stump and tightly pack them with pure, dry magnesium sulfate, the salt acts as an extreme dehydrator. It slowly sucks every drop of moisture out of the internal wood cells, killing the deep roots completely and drastically accelerating the natural decay process. Magnesium sulfate is as effective at dismantling unwanted plant cells through dehydration as it is at building them up through photosynthesis. Despite these benefits, you must avoid the internet myth that Epsom salt is a flawless cure-all that should be dumped blindly on every garden bed. Using any supplement without understanding your specific environment can lead to severe unintended consequences. If you live in an area where your native soil is already high in magnesium, adding more creates a severe nutritional imbalance. An excess of magnesium physically blocks your plant's roots from absorbing vital calcium. This lack of calcium directly causes blossom end rot, turning the bottoms of heavy-fruiting plants into a black, leathery rot. To prevent this, always perform a simple soil test once a year. If your soil already has optimal magnesium levels, skip the ground applications and stick strictly to occasional foliar sprays, which will not alter your ground chemistry. When applied correctly, a simple bag of Epsom salt functions as a biological tool to optimize cellular plant health from the roots up. If you found these scientific explanations helpful, check out our video on hydrogen peroxide, where we break down how to use another cheap household item to manage diseases on contact. Hit the like button, share this video with your fellow gardeners, and subscribe for more fluff-free, science-based gardening tips. See you in the next video.